The trucker protests rocking Canada could be heading to the Super Bowl next, and it's got Joe Biden pretty worried. So he's calling up his Department of Homeland Security for a preemptive crackdown. The agency warning police to prepare for protests similar to Canada's Freedom Convoy, and that U.S.-based truck drivers could start blocking highways and major roads in California ahead of the Super Bowl. Biden's State of the Union address could also be impacted. Administration officials very concerned.
We support peaceful protest, but we have concerns when those protests turn violent. And certainly I think it's important for everyone in Canada and the United States to understand what the impact of this blockage is.
Once they intervene in other people's freedoms and liberties, it becomes a more complicated landscape. But we're working with law enforcement to address any eventualities.
All right, so Greg, I knew that they were starting in California. I heard maybe they were coming east, but I don't want to mess up the Super Bowl.
Yeah, but I do choose the truckers over the trackers. I don't buy this what-if stuff. We've seen this. What they've done is they're mapping this after the strategy they used with terror. Remember, there was any kind of big event.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, we have to make sure the terror threat level will go up at the Super Bowl. If there could be an ISIS attack at this. All they're doing is they're transferring that framework to people who have yet to commit any crime.
Right.
I mean, I would love to see the DHS, like, tase a baby. When they go to these events, what do you see? Every picture you see are families, a bouncy castle. But what they're doing right now is they're doing their bad appling, right? They find a flag, or they plant a flag, or they dig up a 2-year-old flyer from Miami, and they claim, oh, my God, this entire convoy, they're terrorists, they're white supremacists. It's a political tactic to smear your opponents. I mean, you know, I know Geraldo gets really mad when an illegal immigrant commits a crime and, like, say, painting a swastika on a Capitol building, and then we bring it up, and you think, oh, my God, we're smearing all illegal immigrants. Well, that's what the White House is doing right now. And who knew that Canadians do a better job of Americans than Americans do? Although their prime minister is a disgrace, but, you know, what can you do?
So they have the DHS secretary there. I mean, he's already there. The Super Bowl's not till Sunday, but he is there and he is ready, Dana. Where's Mayor Pete? Is he going to get out there and just, you know, stop the truckers single-handedly?
I don't think so. Remember, it took him like 5 months to go to the LA port initially. January 15th is the date that the Canadian government said that truckers were basically no longer essential workers after they had worked 2 years as essential workers. And all of a sudden, with the stroke of a pen, they were. And it's not that they're not vaccinated. Many of them are vaccinated. And it always is groundswell. Trudeau had 2.5 weeks or so to get ready for this. They didn't do anything. They didn't go meet with them. They didn't try to de-escalate. Didn't try to figure it out. Well, the White House has had plenty of warning. One, they've not called. Where's President Biden? Why hasn't he called Trudeau? Let's get this figured out. Can we do something on cross-border passing so that we can make sure that people can get back to work?
Has he called Trudeau?
I don't know. I keep asking. I don't believe so. They say that the White House has been in touch with their counterparts.
Oh.
Okay. But also, this is another great opportunity for Kamala Harris. California's her home state.
Oh.
Don't laugh. I'm just like, let me give you a little more advice. So Kamala Harris could go. I would get Buttigieg and I would get Marty Walsh, the labor secretary.
Oh, Marty.
And I would go out there and
Marty, good guy.
all those guys, and I would at least meet with them, try to figure it out, and say, look, the governors, do you like this plan? Do you like this plan? Can we get to some sort of agreement to try to head it off? If not, they're just going to have more problems.
Whatever happened to negotiation? You can't negotiate with truckers?
Well,
you can negotiate with the Taliban, but not the truckers.
you can't negotiate if you think that you control the people who want to negotiate with you. And that is the problem here. Look, these truckers are saying, look at what you've done to us. For 2 years, you destroyed our lives, our businesses, our families have been affected. You wouldn't listen to us. Now that you see elections are coming around, you don't want to talk to us. You now still refuse to deal with the fact that you have destroyed our lives, that we were essential, and now you want to quarantine us if we aren't vaccinated, if we go in the other direction, whereas 90% are clearly vaccinated. And so this sense of elitism that both Trudeau has, saying I saw a swastika and it's an inherent sign of violence. It is, I agree. But I haven't seen anything. I haven't heard about a lot of arrests there. You've got thousands of people.
It was on Twitter. That's all it takes.
Yeah, all it takes is Twitter. But what they're doing is they're going to come to the United States because people are fed up. And for the first time, people feel that they've got something to say. And the other point that I want to make here is that they're creating the narrative. And you're absolutely right.
They who?
They meaning the White House is creating a narrative that, we're not going to allow any violence. We're worried about disrupting the auto production. Well, how long? 2 years we've been down now. Now you're worried about it? And we have concerns that this is going to turn violent. How do you know it's going to turn violent? You're just cultivating that seed in the minds of America.
Lots of concerns, Geraldo. Lots of concerns.
I must say, Jesse, that I am deeply embarrassed by the affection, the misguided affection you all are heaping
You're embarrassed
on these
by
truckers.
us?
I am embarrassed.
What a turnaround.
I am embarrassed.
I didn't know you could feel that
look at
emotion.
naked
Do you know that in Canada, the Toyota plant and the Ford plant are already closing a whole week because these thugs have cut off the supply of parts to these factories. They have put these people out of work. How dare they? Hold it.
The government shut down the whole economy for a year.
Don't tread on me. The Gadsden flag, the yellow flag with the snake, we all rally around free personal freedom. What about that? What about don't tread on me?
They didn't burn the plant down like BLM did.
They have staggered the Canadian economy much more in terms of dollar and disruption than Minneapolis and the other Black Lives Matter.
You're so out of line on that.
It costs
billions of dollars.
I can't believe it.
You said you can't say that. You need to have stats. Say the stats.
Tens of millions of dollars. $400 million a
billions.
day. $400 million a day. Added up in 2.5 days, that's $1 billion.
Billions.
These truckers are selfish.
They're hard,
self-involved
people who want to be heard.
Geraldo, don't call
care
people
about their politics. What about
I see pictures of you every day.
They cut off. They cut off trade between the nations. They are affecting national security, and shame on them, and shame on anyone who cheers them on.
I don't think you even believe what you're saying, Geraldo. But that's why we like you.
I'm Steve Doocy.
I'm Brian Kilmeade.
And I'm Ainsley Earhart. And click here to subscribe to the Fox News YouTube page to catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis.